What happens to your digital data once you are no longer here? Families are struggling with accessing loved ones' social media accounts after they pass away, and David Lee Miller has a look at that from our newsroom here in New York. David Lee, what you find out?
Bill, this is a classic case of the law trying to keep pace with technology. What happens to all our emails, photos, and other stuff stored in the amorphous cloud of cyberspace after we die? An increasing number of states are now trying to resolve this growing problem.
Johnson's dad died unexpectedly of a heart attack 4 years ago. Things were tough enough. Coping became even more difficult when his family was told they could not access his email or online accounts. Donna's mother was unable to see repeated emails that the mortgage was not being paid. Foreclosure was narrowly averted, but Donna's mother was never allowed to view any of her husband's online documents or photos.
Every time she encountered something like this, it was incredibly stressful to her. She had to tell the entire story again. It brought up all of those feelings of the moment that she lost her husband.
After hearing Donna's story, Delaware lawmakers passed legislation requiring websites to allow access to the account of someone who died, unless other arrangements have been made.
They want to keep their documents, their email private, or their photos private, or their social media private, or any account private. They can do that.
Privacy advocates say that's not enough and argue that the highly personal nature of email should require a court order before a dead person's email can be accessed by those in charge of the estate.
But email is much more spontaneous. People send a lot more of it. And if you think about it, you really don't think through the content of each email that you send to a friend or send to your doctor or counselor.
At least 8 other states already have laws on the books dealing with digital remains. Delaware's, though, is considered the most comprehensive, and it could be a model for similar legislation across the country.
Changing world, as you point out. David Lee, thank you. David Lee Miller here in New York.